morning student. We are starting with the next chapter now in class 11th bio, that is your animal kingdom. Before this student we have learned plant kingdom, and in that we have learned algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperm and angiosperm, and now we are going to study animal kingdom. Student, before going to through the phyla, different phyla of animal kingdom, we should know some necessary terms. Without these necessary terms, you cannot learn easily the phyla in animal kingdom. And fortunately, these terms are asked in definitions and differences also. So let us study some basic terms, and then we will study this chapter in detail. There are some basic terms. The first one, you should know about body cavity. You should know about body cavity, student. In body cavity, we learn acoelomate and coelomate type. Student, coelom means body cavity, isn't it? Coelom means body cavity. So on the behalf of that, we have to acoelomata and coelomata. Student, true body cavity of the animals has few features. In true body cavity, that is called coelom, visceral organs are present. Visceral organs like your heart, kidney, lungs, liver. These visceral organs are bounded by two membranes, parietal membrane and peritoneal membrane. Okay. So first let us study body cavity. It is of two types, acoelomate and coelomate. Student, acoelomate's example is your tapeworm. The best example is tapeworm. And students, coelomate's example is earthworm. Now what is the basic difference, student, that I will tell you? Student, the basic difference is that first of all, this is the ectoderm layer. Outermost layer is ectoderm, and this is this green one. Green line is your endoderm layer, student. In coelomate, the space between ectoderm and endoderm layer is filled with solid structure, which forms solid layer. Solid layer, isn't it? But the space between ectoderm and endoderm in coelomata, that is your earthworm, is not filled with the solid layer, but it is filled with coelomic fluid. It is filled with coelomic fluid, and in this coelomic fluid, student, in this coelomic fluid, visceral organs are present. In this coelomic fluid, visceral organs are present. So these are two types, student: body cavity, acoelomate without coelom and coelomate. Then children, this one is radial body symmetry. You know very well there are two kind of body symmetry. In the basic classes you have learned, one is radial symmetry. The best example, student, popular example is your starfish. Radial symmetry means, student, body can be divided into two equal halves from any axis. Radially symmetrical means body can be divided into two equal halves from any axis, and the best example is your starfish, isn't it? That is called radially symmetrical. And children, bilateral symmetry, the body can be divided into two equal halves from only longitudinal axis. Body can be divided into two equal halves from only this longitudinal axis, this one. And you can understand by seeing the figure. What is the example? Human or fishes also, fish, isn't it? So two equal half, 1, 2 from longitudinal axis. This is longitudinal axis, isn't it? So there are two kinds. All these terms you are going to use when you will study different phyla. In different phyla you will study different examples, and these will be the features. Whether they are acoelomate or coelomate, whether their body symmetry is radially or bilaterally, isn't it? Then body layer, student. Body layer are of two types, triploblastica and diploblastica. Triploblastica means, student, other than this ectoderm and endoderm, third layer is also there, that is mesoderm. And the best example is your frog. Student, frog, popular example is frog. Student, in frog or in triploblastic animal, three layered body means there are three derms. Ectoderm, triplo means three, triplo, ectoderm, and this is mesoderm and endoderm, isn't it? The best example is frog. So we are going to use this word when you will study the chapter in detail. Then diploblastica, student. Diploblastica, hydra is the best example, student. It is made up of, diplo means two. Diplo means what, student? Two. Ectoderm, and this is endoderm. Best example your hydra. And one more information I want to give you. In hydra, in diploblastica, mostly in all the diploblastica, between ectoderm and endoderm, the space is filled with a substance called mesoglia. Isn't it? Mesoglia. And student, example is hydra. So these are the terms very important for animal kingdom. I will tell you some more important terms that will help you. In animal kingdom we have to study some groups, and that is, they are called phyla. Phyla is plural and phylum is singular. So one by one I will write all, isn't it? And fortunately the name of this phyla or phylum will help you to learn the features of all the examples. The first feature will be the name feature only. So the first one is Porifera. First one is Porifera, student. Here number one Porifera, have perforated body. Number two, student, is Cnidaria or Coelenterata or Coelenterata. Number three, student, Ctenophora. Ctenophora was not in your basic class in detail, but here we have to study. Number four, student, Platyhelminthes, plate-like body. Platyhelminthes. Student, one thing I want to add in your knowledge: helminthes means worm. Helminthes means worm, and platy means plate-like body, plate-like worm. Now your best example is tapeworm. Then Nemathelminthes or nematoda. Nematoda, student, nematoda is also called Aschelminthes. Ascaris is the example. Asch means thread like, helminthes means worm. Aschelminthes. And number six, student, number six is your Annelida, earthworm, you know. Annelida, segmented body, isn't it? And number seven, student, Mollusca, Unio and all, snail and all are there in this group. Student, number eight after Mollusca is your Arthropoda. Arthropoda, largest. This is asked in many GK competitions. In NPSC also you have studied. Arthropoda is the largest animal kingdom, having Very important question. Arthropoda is the largest animal kingdom. And student, ninth one is your Echinodermata. Ninth one is what, student? Echinodermata. Example is your earthworm. Example is your starfish, sea urchin, starfish. Then student, number 10 is your Hemichordata. Balanoglossus is the example. And student, last but not least, very important, we are in this chordata. These are, student, all the phyla. Let us recap once. First one is Porifera, perforated body, then Cnidaria, Ctenophora, Nematoda or Aschelminthes, then Annelida, Mollusca, Arthropoda. Isn't it? All these. And then number 9, Echinodermata, 10, Hemichordata, and 11th Chordata. Now we will study all this in detail with the help of example. So first we have to study this one, all this line. Cut. Children, in all the phyla, chordata we have to study in detail in class 11th. Like that, Arthropoda is the largest animal kingdom, but we are going to study student chordata in detail. So let us complete this chordata chart first, and then I will start with the first phyla, that is Porifera. Chordata, student, chordata has 3 groups: Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. The best example of Urochordata is, student, Tunicata. Tunicata is given along with the features in your text notes, you will find. Then Cephalochordata, student, the best example is Amphioxus. And now Vertebrata in detail. Student, we are vertebrates. The main feature, notochord, vertebral column. And in vertebrates there are 5 subclasses. First one is, student, Pisces, Amphibia. Second one is Amphibia. Third, Reptilia. Fourth, Avians. And fifth one is, student, Mammalia. So these are the 5 classes, children. Number 1 is Pisces, 2 Amphibia, 3 Reptilia, 4th Aves, and 5th Mammalia. The best example of Pisces is your fish, Amphibia, frog, Reptilia, student, lizard, Aves, pigeon or birds, and Mammalia, student, we humans, isn't it? And all out of these 5 classes, Pisces, Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves, and Mammalia, from Amphibia till Mammalia, they have 4 legs, 4 limbs. These have 4 limbs, so they are categorized in 4 means tetrapoda means limb. So Amphibia, Reptilia, and Aves and Mammalia, children, they are categorized in tetrapoda. Tetra means 4, poda means leg, isn't it? And student, all together these have mouth with jaws. So they are called gnathostomata. Gnatha means jaws, stomata means mouth. Gnathostomata. What is the meaning of this, student? Mouth with jaws. In fishes there are some jawless example, mouths are jawless, they are called agnatha. Just opposite of gnatha stomata is agnatha. A means without, absent. Gnatha means jaws. That is in the fishes mostly. And student, one more thing I want to tell you, in the fishes there are two categories. That is your cartilaginous fish and bony fish. May be asked in your exam also. Cartilaginous fish, student, they are called chondric fish. Chondric fish, due to presence of chondrin protein, the body is cartilaginous. So chondric fish is also called, student, cartilaginous fish. And osteichthyes, osteichthyes, isn't it? Osteichthyes, student. And here, student, chondric fish. Chondric fish means what, student? Chondric means cartilaginous, fishes having cartilaginous body, and osteichthyes, that is your bony fishes. So cartilaginous fish and bony fish. Let us recap once. Chordata में we have to study Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. Example of Urochordata, Tunicata and Amphioxus. We are going to study this in the text. Four features are there. Then Vertebrata में Pisces, Amphibia, Reptilia, Apes and Mammalia. And here Amphibia and Reptilia, Apes and Mammalia, they have 4 limbs. So they come in under tetrapoda with 4 limbs, isn't it? And they also have the mouth with jaws, so that is called gnathostomata. And there are some fishes which are agnathostomata and gnathostomata both, but mostly agnatha, jawless fishes, mouth without jaws, are in the fishes also. And in fishes we have to study 2 features, 2 categories, cartilaginous fish, chondric fish, and bony fish, osteichthyes, that is called osteichthyes. Now we will study other phyla in detail. First one will be Porifera.